it is a happy day for Study Glow, and in celebration of this, we're gonna do some question and answers. So, this question or the coming questions are asked by some of my friends from my Instagram account. So, I'm doing fine, I'm doing great. Exams over, and I'm super excited about this second year. Well, as you can see, I don't usually have study moments, but I can show you how I study, my study routine. So I begin with writing my topics on a diary or a planner, whichever there is, and trying to complete it in a day. So I usually write about 2 to 3 topics that I should complete, and when I'm satisfied with my goal, I go on to my resources, which I place on this system since I don't have the hard copy material as yet. So I write my notes usually on OneNote because it's very systematic, and I can show you how it works. But before that, you will see all of my study materials being downloaded, as well as all of my assignments and stuff. So usually I open I split the screen between my study materials and OneNote. Thereby I can study my study materials on one side and write my notes on the other. That way I can be able to compare the two and see if I can really understand it. Actually, there's always pros and cons on studying digitally as well. Let me just show you the pros first. So this is how I organize my notes. It usually goes in a sequential manner where I group my subjects into sections and blocks into pages, and my chapters into sub pages. That way I can be able to track and trace whichever is needed. And after doing so, after writing all of my notes, I usually print these, or maybe I save it in PDF format and then look back to them when I write my assignments or even study for my exams. Okay, just let me show you the PDF format of my notes, and you will find it very easy to understand. Like, your brain can actually take in that information because it's very systematic and very organized. The way of the notes are done in a sequential manner. That means it has points and subpoints and subpoints of subpoints and all that stuff. Okay, here's one. You can take a look at it. I guess these digitals hate each other. Just pause and try to look at them. So if you can see how I take my notes. This is in digital format, so it's quite different from how I take my notes. Although very similar, but it's quite different from how I take my notes on my notebooks. This is one of my world history notes which I took, and as you can see, it has its own topic and subtopics, and it has its own points and subpoints. So now, enough about this. I'll just show you how I take my notes from the study material itself. So as you can see, this is the split screen I was talking about, and I am trying to comprehend what is written in the text and trying my best to write it in my own words. So most of these are mainly a copy of what I understand from the study material. So here it is. I follow the pattern of the book in a chronological sequence. That means I go from History of India 3 to 4 to 5, and I don't go jumble around, if that is the right word to use with it. I'm not really sure anymore. On a side note, this is the first time that I'm taking notes digitally, because last year I've tried taking notes digitally and it didn't help me so much. So maybe it's because I haven't got the gist of it, I guess. So here it is, another try. Next question. A trick question. In order to write for your exams, I think students or maybe people like me come up with different approaches and different styles that you write in an exam. Like for me, what I write in my notes, I usually write it in my exams as well, because after all, as years go by, the exams is not just to pass a class or to impress a teacher. As you grow up, you begin to understand that exams are a way of helping you. I could say it's mainly a way to test yourself whether you're capable of understanding this, or do you need something less complicated than the subject. Going back to the question again, I think you have to discover your own style and your own way, because I've experienced this. I have watched too many videos on YouTube because I was procrastinating a lot while having my exams. So I watched a lot of videos on how to write on my exams and how to study and how to do this, how to do that. But it's just you stressing over things that will eventually pass. And I think even for this one, I think you should try to discover your own style. But if you want to try out my style, you can just do that. Whatever you write in your own notes, you try to imitate that pattern of writing into your exams paper, and that way you'll have your own way of writing and your own way of expressing your answers in your own style. And the teacher will be impressed a little bit, I guess, if they see an original style or a new style of writing answers, But if you really want to have a basic understanding of what is to be written on the exams, just remember 3 things. This is what I've learned on my presentation class. That means having an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Wherever you hear that, it'll be in an essays. So try implementing that. Try having an introduction of 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 sentences based on what you understand about the topic, and then you go on to the body. That is, you don't repeat the introduction, but you create points, you debate on it, and you write on it points that support your introduction and points that you want to elaborate on the body part. And whereas for the conclusion part, you need not have to copy the introduction or the body, but you just have to summarize whatever you've written. This is like, you don't even need to think about it, you just have to summarize, and that is it. You can eventually stop there, I guess. And after that, boom, you've got an answer. And also, when writing answers, kindly check on instructions very carefully. When it says write in under 500 or write in under 300 words, try to use as much as 300. You can go over 300 for around 315 or 320, but don't go too much farther than that. It'll be a waste of time, and the teacher would be like, and this is too long, I'll just give him a 5, something like that. So just try to stick to what the question has asked you to do and not go beyond it. Also, if you don't even know a thing about that, try to write as much as you can. Try to bring out stories, or maybe try to make your own stories, let's say, and try to write the answer as much as you can. And that way the teacher will see that they're trying, the students trying, and at least they don't know much, but at least they're trying. So let me just give them a 1 or 2. That's how I did it, and maybe that's why I passed some of the subjects. And I think I'll be having a backlog classes. What are they called? I think I'll be having backups. I really don't know what they're called. So yeah, I think it's just that you just have to try doing all those points that I've showed you. Let me just write it here on the screen so that you will be able to screenshot it. Okay, here you go. Oh yeah, there's another point please don't listen to those motivational talks on YouTube videos saying in order to score this much of percentage you should do this. They are not that helpful, because first of all, when you don't give an effort, you don't gain anything from it. So the first and foremost thing that you need to remember is to give your best, and when you've not given your best, please do not expect extra help or extra percentages, let's say, that those YouTubers actually offer you, because it's you that who has to make the effort to study, and it's you that who will go into the exams and write things that you will need to learn for your future, not them, not anyone else. So please try to study hard and try to study well, because even I have my guilt, even I have my own regrets, because I hadn't studied well and have backlog subjects now. So instead of going forward, I am somewhat stuck in this same cycle. So I wish you the best of luck for those having exams on September or I don't know, June TEE, as well as for December TEE. All the best to you guys, and I hope that you study well. I'm trying my best to study well, especially now that I have to tackle a full-time job and my studies as well. Do your best and make yourself proud, if not anyone. Okay, so I've been waiting for a long time to talk about this, that why I do not upload consistently in the past few months, and mainly the reason for the thumbnail of this video. So how do I tell this to you? I don't have the right words to explain to you, but in simple words, I am starting my family, and by starting I mean I got married last year during September, and I wasn't able to upload and film my videos for the purpose of this channel, because I was very much caught up to try to adjust my lifestyle, because it is so different from what I have been doing all my life, and especially with studying and the shift in lifestyle. I was inconsistently trying my best to study and trying to adjust at the same time, and trying to film my videos, and it was quite impossible because I was not in the right flow, I was not in the right mind. I have priorities, I have responsibilities now more than ever, and it seemed like study glow was not a priority anymore, and I didn't want that to happen, because I very much love to film videos. And as I was thinking about study glow, I wanted to shift this kind of process, right, to a more simpler concept, that is I wanted to shift Instagram. So that's why I created the page, and just so that I can at least be consistent over there. But it was quite impossible, because again we were moving from places to places, and we had relatives to meet and greet, and we have other things like as newlyweds, it's very we're so busy in our world that I could not give the needed time and attention for this channel to grow, and for this channel to be of any aid to fellow students. And it's because of this I would like to, let's say, pause or take a very, very huge break from filming videos, and would like to shift to Instagram, which is posting my study glow journey in terms of short videos and pictures. That way it's more convenient for me, and I still get to share my journey with you on how my degree is going, and in that way I am able to keep track of, as well as keep documenting what I am really into these kind of days. Before I finish my bachelor's degree. And I would really like to thank you so much for being here and listening to me speaking about my journey, although most of my videos are in this manner. I hope you understand my situation, and I hope that you continue to support my journey like you've always done. And please, you can go onto my Instagram handle and follow me back there so that I won't miss you, and I wouldn't want to let go of what we already had. Now I sound like a romantic movie, but that's what I have in my heart, and I know you're somewhere out there trying to support me to the best of your abilities, but because this is a platform where I cannot interact with you directly, and you can only interact with me in monologue, so I hope that you jump into Instagram and catch me up over there, and I will try my best to consistently post my journey and consistently give you tips and tricks from here on out. Thank you so much, and this is where I would like to sign up. This is where I would like to say goodbye and give you a really big bear hug. But turns out I have another question, and you might ask me what that is, or you are the one who asked me that question, and here it is. This is where I studied so much, I played so much, got up in the morning at 6 and 5 and tried my best to cram my favorite place, which is the library. I tried going here as well. This is my safe place for just studying, and I tried my best to study. I tried my best to study everywhere, and this is how it turned out. It's a complete disaster, but this is the view that I could see from my exam hall. I embraced the good memories as well as the bad. So I'm done with my studying, and now I'm just gonna go boop right into the movies along with some snackies. I'm so hungry. I'm just gonna go eat, and I'm just gonna go to sleep, and you have a great time. And thanks again for watching. This can be my last video. I will try to upload, but you can see me on Instagram as well. So thank you so much once again for being my help and my support, and for being the best. And for the last time, this is me signing off from Study Glow.